Okay, today I'm putting my kayak in the water for the first time. The purpose of today is really just to kind of get a system set up for strapping my kayak to the top of the car and launching and just kind of getting familiar. It's like an orientation day. I am, however, bringing my fishing pole. Do a little fishing while we're out there. If the kayak floats, we're going to see if it doesn't sink, if it doesn't have a hole in it. So this is just a day of testing and experimenting and trying things out. Well, let's see how it goes. Well, we're down here at the harbor and it's pretty freaking windy today. I didn't see that coming, and so lesson number one, before going kayaking, before loading the kayak, check the freaking weather. Check the wind. I don't know how many miles per hour this is, but a little on the strong side. I could probably still kayak. I would just be fighting it the whole time. Maybe I can find some areas that aren't as windy. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go for it now or not. I'm just trying to make a decision as to whether I'm gonna put the kayak in the water or not. Okay, so the weather report says that this is 15 miles per hour wind, and I think maybe that's just a little too much. I'm not gonna launch today. I'm gonna hold off. Maybe tomorrow the wind will clear up. I'm gonna check the weather for tomorrow and the next day and see what's up. Maybe I'll go hit the surf, go cast off the jetty with the wind in my back. See how that goes. I'm out here off the end of the T jetty, and I gotta tell you guys, it's windy. The waves are somewhat small. The only thing I could think to do was get out on one of these jetties and get the wind to my back and use it to cast. It's weird. It's just a weird day. I'm trying to figure out how to fish like when it's windy like this. If I had a spear and a wetsuit, I'd be swimming around trying to spearfish. Thinking about hitting the pier in a little while, but I'm just gonna keep jigging this dart over here. The dart is pretty good for casting in the wind, and I'm just gonna jig this dart over here for a while, see what comes up, if anything. And I don't know what the hell to do on a windy day like this except just keep on fishing. Check it out, guys. I'm on my very own kayak for the very first time in the harbor. Got myself pinned against these rocks here in the wind for a moment so I could take time to rig up some bait. I've got a swim bait, Kayak, some kind of red with dark on the back. I'm gonna drag this thing around and see what happens. Let's go fishing. All right, guys, we're trolling. Check it out. I'm out in the middle of the main channel harbor, main harbor channel right now. Take a look, there's the ocean out there. And there's the breakwater. So my strategy, I thought I would just go from main point to main point back and forth to figure out what depth fish are at. I figured there would be the most activity out there in the main points. But then I thought, you know what, why not take this same strategy and just apply it to the whole harbor? So I'm just gonna zigzag my way over there. Zigzag from side to side until I get out there, and then come back and do the same thing probably on the way back. I'm trying to figure out where the fish are at, so I'm gonna just sort of grid out the whole thing and cover all the water. See what it's up. We're hunting fish. All right, I just ran into some real friendly kayakers out here. I made my way out to this point right here, which I'm quite excited about. A little bit of confidence in that point, although there are several fishermen over there already. And I got near it and there was a swell. I don't know if you can see the swell from here, but it actually intimidated me. And that was the first time I actually felt intimidated on this thing. I sort of just kept my nose aimed at the swell and then backed out slowly, carefully, until I could turn around and get the fuck out of there. But I don't think I really need to be too scared of it. So I might make another approach. We'll see. This pelican just came off the rocks, landed in the water, and then came within 5 feet of me and just looked at me and then swam away. He was curious about me. I think he was asking for some fish. That was really neat. It's right here. This is the main break. This is the main breaker for the whole harbor, by the way. These rocks here. And there's tons of birds and bird poop, but there's tons of kelp along the edge here, so I'm fishing the edge of the kelp just to see if anything is living in there. I'm fishing a nice big swim bait. I'll show you that. It's a silver and it's got a dark blue top. there's my bait right there. Silver, dark blue top. Got a 1 ounce jig head. It's probably a 4/0 hook. Trying to get a halibut or a sand bass to bite. Something big, you know, something that I could feel really good about catching today. Fishing along the kelp edge here. I've got snagged twice, lost 2 of my 1 ounce swim baits. Not keen on losing those suckers at about $2 a pop, maybe $3 a pop. So I switched over to a Carolina rig, and I'm gonna try to go with lightweight, just a 1/4 ounce, just enough to get me down to the bottom, hopefully not get snagged. I've got a nice long leader of about 3 feet, and then this little, I think it's a 2-inch Sierra Slammer paddle tail. We'll see what happens. This little 2-inch bait down at the bottom could be killer. Sometimes that's all it takes, is just change up what you're fishing with, change up your bait, bam, the bite is on. Let's see what happens. Let's get some bites, man. I'm excited. Just for some perspective on location, right here is the very end of the longest jetty, the north jetty of the main harbor channel. That is very dangerous to get to on foot. As you can see, there's a number of dudes out there fishing today. It is super dangerous to get to on foot. I've done it a few times and I decided I'm not gonna do it anymore. I said the next time I come back here will be on my kayak, and here I am today. So stoked to be out here on the water, stoked to be able to access all this different water. I'm gonna fish the hell out of this area. This whole area. I'm just gonna like make my way back and forth and just keep jigging along the bottom and see if we can just find the fish. We've got to find the fish. All right, I'm switching over to the Chartreuse Berkeley Gulp Mullet. Lost that little Sierra Slammer, snagged on the bottom. I'm gonna give this guy a try. I really wanna hook into a halibut or something significant today. So looking for like a slightly bigger bait. And I've moved my leader down from 15-pound test down to 10-pound test. I'm stoked to find that I had some 10-pound on me. That ought to be perfect. Let's get to it. I'm gonna try and avoid that surf over there. There's some waves. So I wanna stay on this side of that break wall, make sure I stay safe over here. But this is a nice stretch here with all this kelp. There's gotta be some fish around here somewhere. We just gotta find them. So let's just keep our line on the bottom and keep moving around, keep covering the water, figure out where these fish are, guys. So I'm on the other side of the north jetty, the surf side. Blowing in the wind, getting blown towards the waves, so I'm gonna grab my paddle and make sure I don't get too close to those pretty soon. But I guess what I'm gonna do is just kind of patrol along the edge here of the jetty. Try not to snag anyone's line, over there that's fishing, and just really try to cover some more water. I've got that Chartreuse Berkeley Gulp on a size 4 hook is all, just a little size 4. I threaded all the way down, and just a 1/4 ounce weight, really light. So I'm just gonna take it real slow, drag along the bottom. I kind of wish I had something that made a little more noise, had a little more bump and rattle to it. But this is what I'm doing for the moment. I can always change over and try something else. Just really need to keep my line on the water. Fishing's been incredibly slow today, so when I do hook up with a nice one, it is gonna feel good. Okay, quick update. Still no bites, not a damn bite all day today. Well, what can I say? It's still a landmark day to get on my very own kayak and get out into the harbor right before my 40th birthday. I'm so happy. This is a lifetime dream of mine. Ever since I was a teenager, I thought I should just get on a kayak and do that every day. And then I'll get good exercise and I can go fishing at the same time, and I'll be on the water. So my whole life I've been dreaming about doing this, and for some reason I just never got a kayak and did it. I'm so grateful to my friends Adrian and Andrew. They gave me this kayak for free. It was in their backyard and it wasn't getting any use. They said, hey, if you're willing to put some TLC into this boat, you can have it. And they didn't even know me or anything. So thank you so much, guys. It means a lot. I love it. I absolutely love my boat. And I know there's going to be a lot of this fishing. I'm going to be doing a lot of this fishing out here. So
So, you know, if we don't catch anything today, that's not okay, but I'll be back. And the day's not over yet. 3 hours till high tide. The good time of the day is just about to turn on. I'm gonna try something different that we haven't tried yet. I'm gonna get out of this big water out here. We're gonna head into the harbor. Head in and go do a little exploring. Check out the docks, check out the boats. Go check out the harbor, you know, see what it all looks like. And maybe we'll find some fish along the way. Let's go see what we can find. We're just gonna keep dragging grubs around everywhere I go. I'm gonna be dragging grubs around, so something's gotta bite eventually. So I was really wondering all day, where are the fish? How is it possible that I haven't had one single bite yet? I got a little information from another guy on a kayak. He said the water temperature has dropped 2 degrees. Apparently something caused the water temperature to drop 2 degrees, and he figures that's probably why the bite just turned off, and that's why it's super slow right now. So maybe when the water temp jumps back up, maybe the bite will turn back on. I don't know. Maybe that'll be next week. We'll see. But he also told me that here around the new docks in the Ventura Harbor, he said there's a group of perch, sargo, and various other species living here. He said like balls of fish up under the docks and stuff around here. So I'm giving that a try. I've put back on a little Sierra Slammer. Still got that 1/4 inch egg weight with a size 4 hook, Carolina rig, and just gonna make my way around the docks, cast it alongside the docks, and just fish the hell out of this area and see if anything actually bites, if we can get anything to actually bite. It's too bad if the bite's really just totally off because of the water temperature, but there's got to be some fish biting somewhere. We got to just keep trying. Well, believe it or not, guys, I actually reeled in a little croaker. I was just trolling along the channel here, and I thought I had some seaweed, so I reeled it up real quick to get that weed off, and when it came up, it was silvery and shiny. It was a fish. So he popped off. I picked him up out of the water, he popped off the hook and swam away. I'm gonna go explore this section of the harbor now. I haven't seen that yet, so just taking the harbor tour here. Just a 3-hour tour. The wind is blowing. I've been out for about 4 or 5 hours. High tide is probably in an hour from now. Hopefully we can catch some more fish today. Okay guys, I found the fish. First thing I noticed was these bait fish. Do you see the bait fish? There's hundreds of little bait fish right in front of us. They're about 3 inches long. Okay, and then the next thing I noticed was they were kind of getting schooled up, and then I saw bigger fish right behind them chasing them and eating them. So there's actually some like sand bass or something in the water right down here, and they're feeding on these little bait fish. So I just tied on a spoon. I'm gonna fish the spoon for a little while. If that doesn't work, then I'll switch back over to a small grub, something that looks like those fish, or maybe a fly. Let's give this a shot, see what happens. Check this out. I just caught my first little spotted bay bass. Tiny little thing. And for its size, I gotta say, I'm really surprised at how hard it fought. I thought I had a decent fish on, actually. So these bass can fight. Let's get a good view. That is a spotted bay bass. Tiny little 6-incher. Never caught one before, so this is pretty cool. I'm gonna get him back in the water. Well, I had about enough for one day. 7 hours on the water is enough for me for my first time out there in the salt water. Ended up with 2 tiny fish, 1 little croaker, 1 little spotted bay bass. Man, the bite was just off today. So now I guess we just gotta wait for that water temp to pick back up, things to stabilize, and fish to get back into their routine of eating and pooping and whatever else fish do. That was a great time, man. As far as my first time out on my own kayak in the saltwater like that all by myself, it's just a dream come true, man. I had a great time. Highly recommend kayak fishing. Anyone out there who wants to get into it, go for it. All you need is the boat, the paddle, the life jacket, and your fishing pole. Bring a backpack full of tackle or whatever, and just get on the water, go have a good time. One thing I gotta say that will make a big improvement is for me to get a seat for my kayak. I found a much more comfortable position for my posture was to sit at the middle of the boat, where it's not really made for sitting on, but that way at least I could get my spine straightened out. But for rowing and spending a lot of time in that boat, I think a good seat is in order. Man, I'm so happy. That was just so much fun. That was great. I'm so stoked that I did that. That was a dream come true for me. I can't wait to get back out there. Stay tuned for a lot more kayak fishing videos, because I'm gonna be looking for that good water where the bite is at. I'll be getting out there. Kayak or no kayak, I'll be out there fishing, so stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching, guys.